Egret Tours Marina is one of my favourite places to build. During this playthrough I've packed this one with lots of fun and functional features. So stay right here for this lore friendly no mods build. Hello everyone and a massive welcome, or welcome back, to Fallout Play Build Collect. As we head in we're greeted by a guard. This is just taken over by the Minutemen, so we're starting to see some Minutemen paraphernalia turn up. Just put some barricades here around the desk. I think it looks quite nice. We have a trade section behind the guards there. As we come through we have a Brahmin pen. That's where the traders can leave their Brahmin. They can water them there if they want to. And we'll take a bit more of a look at the outside as we go through later. You can see we have some shops and some food down the main stretch here. Now, this was originally done on Xbox One. I've come back since I've had Xbox Series X and added quite a bit of extra stuff to it because the system can cope with a lot more building. Right, as we come over to the left here we can see I've fenced this area in with a defensive guard structure. Here's one of my nautical Minutemen guarding that cliff section over to the left there. And we have the rad arch here, so that everybody who comes in from the dock would have to go through the rad arch, which seems to make a lot of sense to me. And we have water purifiers, lots of them here. The main idea of this is it's a water purification plant and it's shipping the water out to other areas. Here comes one of my maintenance people. He's working maintenance down on the docks. We head over here to the left. I've got a fishing area here and another small dock. This is where you'd have small boats maybe coming up. You could probably do some fishing off of this pier here. See, we have a ladder so that you could come in from the outside up there if you needed to. And you could probably get a small boat maybe there on that side. And we come up to the raised section and we go down to the front. This was very, very difficult to get all of this in. Managed to get it all in somehow without any kind of anything artificial. There's no place anywhere, there's no mods. Everything is fitted in with just normal game mechanics and a lot of patience. So the idea here for the settlement is that those water purifiers are producing the water and they've converted the fuel system to pump the water so that boats would pull up at the dock, you connect the fuel system up and you could fill the boats up with the water. So this chap's my filling agent. He stays there and fills the boats when they pull up. I was discussing this with EZE Fallout the other day, that it makes a lot of sense to move the goods up and down the rivers. EZE built a very cool patrol boat. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. It's well worth checking out. Managed to fit one of the guard stations in here. I'm surprised that actually fits in there, but that's quite nice. The guy can stand there and look out. As you head up here, you can see I've got a petrol price board on the front there, and that would be a signal to the passing boats to know when there's enough water for them to come and pick up, maybe something like that, I'm thinking. Yes. And here's another guard station up here. I've got the strobe lights. This looks really good in the dark. In fact, if you're on the far bank, you can actually see these strobe lights. Amazing the game draws them in, but you can actually use this in bad weather and at darkness to actually know where the settlement is. A little curious point to note there is the provisioners stuck on the roof of the boat shed. I've noticed this happens to a lot of people. I've seen a lot of other people's builds, particularly one of the viewers of the channel, Conway. I was watching his one. He has exactly the same issue. I've noticed quite a few people seem to get that issue. Don't know why they get stuck there. Conway's builds are well worth checking out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Let's go up and around. Bit of a ramshackle bridge, seems to make a lot of sense to bridge this over here. Makes transit much easier. And you can see some water purifiers in here. These are the ones that would feed the settlement themselves rather than be for shipping out. So I decided to fence off this rear section here. Fenced off and walled off. Let's give us a little bit of protection in case you had any Mirelurks trying to come up from out of the water. That's mainly to protect against them. Of course humans would come over the wall. Well, I thought of that, and if any humans climb over that wall, they'll have a nasty surprise from that shotgun turret. I have a powered door section here at the back. Humans could get in and out much easier. Also have a spotlight on the roof there, so that keeps track on who's coming and going for the rear door. This is essentially basically temporary accommodation. Anybody coming in from boats, any traders off the boats, just want to stay here overnight. If there's bad weather, they can just pitch up and sleep down there. As we go down the far side, you can see we have some food crops. This small area of dirt off to the side there made a lovely little area to put some crops on. Again, we've got the walls and the barriers on the top of the walls, purely to keep out animals more than raiders, I would think. And the trade section round on the side there. Lucas Miller visiting at the moment. So let's head into the main building. This is something that changed and developed massively over time. I ended up putting a full floor in here. That was a nightmare to get in. Again, there's nothing artificial about that. It was all done naturally in game. We can see we have our power generator and some control systems there for it. This is the power for the entire settlement, all from that generator. Our scrapping station for tools and repairs. Here's a settler feverishly working away. He's probably fabricating a part for the water purifier there, perhaps. Those storage lockers I'm really fond of, very similar to the ones in Fallout 3. They come from Creation Club. There are a few little Creation Club things sprinkled around in here. So this is where everybody sleeps. This is the main sleeping area for most of the people working at this place. I don't think this is going to be a place for comfort at all. This is a working, functional place. So not a lot of comfort, not a lot of recreation here in this one. Got some shelves there for people to store their basic bits and pieces. Put your kit bag on the shelf and get your head down and get a few hours sleep and then get back to work. Defences, recruitment beacon on the roof up there. You can come out this way to it if you want to, or the floor I've put in here goes all the way outside the other window. And we have this bridge section, more defences here. Rapid fire laser gun there in case anybody breaches the wall and gets inside. And we have a ladder to get up to the roof. You know I like high things. If you watch any of my other settlements, you know I like building high. I think it makes a lot of sense to get as much off the ground as possible. So many of our enemies and creatures come in from underground. Mole rats, rad scorpions, that sort of thing. I think it makes a lot of sense to get everything up as high as you can. And we'll see that with the building on top of this building soon. Lots of people talk about this little section that sticks out there. And I've tried to make a feature of it. And I'll show you that in a second when we head inside. Turn this into a shop. Little clothing store being set up here. And the idea is this is just in the early stages of being set up. So again, you might maybe get some travellers on the river can stop off, or anybody passing on the road. Welcome them in to buy some supplies. This room was originally one of the bunkhouses, and I've changed this to turn this into a part office, part workshop. We have a cooking station there. As I said, the settlers did live in there originally, so there's still a little bit of cooking there. New wall sections, new floor, new ceiling. And by putting these metal pieces in, it's allowed me to put this large window. And again, with a guard post there, I quite like the way that guy stands there. Now this section here that lots of people will struggle to find something to do with, I actually thought I'd make a feature of it. So if I cut to some other footage here, I'll show you. I'll put the bell on the bottom and you can use this as a gathering section. And I feel that the leader could stand here and he could give everybody a good lecture, tell them what they're meant to be doing today every morning and get everybody fired up and get them working. Seems to be a perfect area to do that for me, so I made a feature of it rather than trying to hide it. Right, so we spin around the front, past the small eating area. Let's take a look at the defensive area here at the back. Pretty simple to put this in, nothing too complex here. This guard, you see, is slightly less nautical than the other guys, but still with his maritime hat there. He's looking out over the station, over on the hill. Of course you have, I think it's Cutler Bend, I think is the place over the hill there. That's where you get a lot of Mirelurks. As we spin down, we come to a section where I've enhanced this a little bit. I said before about this started off on Xbox One. I'm now on Xbox Series X, and you can add a lot of extra things on Series X. And it's allowed me to put some of these features in that I always wanted to be here, but could never really fit in on Xbox One. So Series X has given me that option. This was very, very tricky to do. Again, there's nothing artificial here. These were all put in naturally in game, these floor sections. Very, very, very difficult to do and get this to all align. Lots of patience involved in this, lots and lots of patience. These steps so you can walk up and walk over it. All of the conduits with the power as well, keeping the power very, very tidy. And we have an on-off switch so we can flick off and turn off the lift. So that once you're up here, you could turn that off and completely isolate this upper floor. So you could turn that lift off and any attackers trying to get up here would have a huge problem. So this is the office or apartment building for the person running the settlement, or my character when he's staying here. Put the windows the other way round so that you can actually see down rather than up, which seems to make a lot of sense, putting them backwards like that. You've got a great view here. There's a desk. You can come and monitor everybody coming and going at the dock. We'll take a look at the decoration in a minute. We've got another section here. You can come out, just have a look over that hill. If you get attacked there, you can just grab a rifle quickly and run out. And he has his convenience there. Really nice open area for a player to live this. A lot more space than some of the other things I've built. Now the floors in here and some of these decoration pieces are from Creation Club. So if you're playing vanilla game, you won't have some of these pieces naturally, but they are all available in Creation Club. I think these pieces are from the Modern Furniture Pack, and I got it free recently when they were doing the giveaways for 25th anniversary. Head up to the upper deck here. This is an observation deck. Somewhere to sit here, just observe what's going on in the settlement, or just chill out. Maybe file some reports. Here's his main desk. Monitor again, keeping track of everything. You've got a good view of everybody coming and going. Of course, when my guy's away, this other guy has to come in and take over for me, of course. I think he's just going to go and crank out some reps on the weight bench. I mean, why not? It's an apocalypse on. But you've got to stay in shape, right? As we look over towards the defences here, you'll notice there's a board between the two turrets, and that's because the front turrets are missile launchers. They will launch all the way out to the far bank. I have been attacked on the far bank and the rockets have supported me out there. So surprising how far those things reach. But the ball behind them is to make sure they don't fire back into your own settlement. That gives you some protection against blue on blue casualties. Lots of turrets on this side, mainly to protect against the Mirelurks in case you go over the hill in the Cutler Bend and end up dragging some Mirelurks back with you. So all these turrets are up here. I think everything fitted in nicely. I tried to use as much of this building as possible. I like to build in and around the buildings where I can. I think I've managed to use as much of the building as really is possible. Pretty pleased where this one turned out, but as always, I really want to hear from you guys. What did you think of this? Jump down in the comments and let me know. Okay, so that's a walk around this one. Stay tuned if you want to see what this one looks like at night. I've got the night tour footage coming next. If you've enjoyed this video or other content here on the channel, don't forget we can only survive with your help. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Make sure you don't miss anything. And if you could leave us a like and maybe even a comment on the way out, that would help us massively as well. If you'd like to go a little further with helping the channel, you can leave a one-off tip or join a range of membership options over on Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon. Stay tuned for more details on that in a second. Let's take a look around the settlement at night now. You can see here in the evenings or at night, the settlers gather around the food hut, sit around the tables eating. I think it's nice to see them sitting there interacting with the traders. Red light there showing that the work day's over. I was going to sing a song there, but I think Gordon's got enough money already. There's those strobe lights I mentioned. Indication of where the settlement is when you're walking around at night. Not too much light in here. I really like these blue neon lights. I've started to use them quite a bit. They're from Creation Club. And these small red lamps, I think they look like heaters as well. These ones here. Really quite fond of those. Putting them in quite a few settlements at the moment. I really like the way the lighting came out in this office. I have a mix of lighting. I have uplighters on the walls and conventional lighting around the bed there. You can see those uplighters on the walls there shining up with the glass ceiling. Obviously it lights the thing up from the outside very, very nicely. A downlighter there over the desk. But then this is the bit I really like, is I've used these vault lamp pieces from the vault set. And see, they fit into the greenhouse pieces really quite nicely. Very pleased with the way this has come out, and I'll probably use this again in some other settlements, I think. So that wraps up this build. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Again, don't forget to let me know in the comments down below. Before we go, I have to say a huge thank you to all my members on Buy Me a Coffee who are keeping these videos coming. And don't forget you can make a one-off donation of just $1 or $2 if you just want to leave me a tip. Also, we have a range of monthly memberships if you'd like to join the team. There you can gain access to a growing range of perks, see behind the scenes, and help make decisions about the future of the channel. And we also have a Patreon page where you can join for any amount you feel comfortable with. If you're still watching, there's a good chance you'll enjoy some of our other content, so don't forget to check out some of the other videos before heading off. So as always, take care of yourselves and each other. I hope to see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.